Today is Saturday, July 17th, and as of today, we are exactly 2 weeks out from the meet. And today was a pretty normal Saturday. Push press singles, 3 push press singles, and then front squats. But instead of pushing triples, we did doubles, and then just accessories, a lot of accessories. Starting with these push presses. So yesterday on my jerks, specifically in the dip portion of my jerk, I had trouble controlling the dip. There were lots of reps where I would sort of get disconnected from the bar on my shoulders, and that tiny bit of space right there, that tiny little disconnect is enough to take away a lot of power from my legs going into the bar. That sort of kinetic chain is broken. And so today with these push presses, that was sort of my main focus, making sure that I'm controlling the dip enough so that the bar stays on my shoulders without leaving them, so that I can sort of most efficiently transfer power into the bar. That was sort of my main focus. And then a secondary focus was making sure that I'm feeling midfoot pressure properly, so that my dip and drive and my bar path is as vertical as possible with as little lateral movement as possible. And then here it's 235 actually. This was my last warm-up. You can see I sort of left my belt on the platform. All of these, I wore my belt from 205 on, just under my shirt. Here, yeah, you can see that I actually fail 245 for my first set. I think, so I try it twice and just call it a set. And I think the first time, I simply wasn't pushing hard enough with my legs. And then that second time I attempted it, I think in trying to control the dip, I think I ended up going a little bit too slowly. And I think that, so I made obviously the subsequent 2 reps at 245 from addressing just by pushing harder with the legs, and then being able to find the balance between controlling the dip and going too slow. Because when I go too slow, in trying to control the dip, it just feels super heavy at the bottom. And that's sort of what happened on Friday with the 260s. The last 2 reps I did, I remember I sort of dipped and then didn't even really attempt the drive because I knew that I had gone a little bit too slow in trying to control the dip, and it just felt super heavy at the bottom. But in any case, other than that first set, I think focusing on those things really helped. Push presses went well. And then I moved on to front squats, and front squats were solid today. 330 was the weight that I hit for all of my triples. Like in the last few weeks, I've been doing 3 sets of 3, and 330 was the weight that I finally was able to do last week for the triples, because before that I was having trouble with the positioning of the bar on my front rack, because I would keep occluding my blood flow or the blood flow that was going through my clavicle, I guess. I don't know if clavicle is the right word to say there, but in any case, last week I was able to finally solidify the positioning of the bar on my front rack, and this week was the same. That was really what the limiting factor was in the last several weeks, but now that I feel like I've sort of overcome that, I feel like I can actually start pushing weight. And so I guess one thing worth noting though with these front squats was that I actually had a ton of time between, I think definitely too much time between the first and second, and then the second and third. Not as much time between the second and third as there was between the first and the second, but I think there was like 15-16 minutes between the first and the second, and I think that honestly got me like a little bit cold, and so that's why I feel like the second and third sets looked a lot harder. But I mean, overall, I think they look pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, now that I'm able to do front squats at a heavy weight without feeling like I'm about to pass out from the dizziness, it just feels good. Yeah, I mean, they were pretty solid. And then I moved on to accessories, dumbbell bench press, tricep pushdowns, pretty simple stuff. The only reason these aren't like sped up like they normally are is because I got a new GoPro, or I got a GoPro to film all of my stuff, and the stuff I've been filming in is 60 frames per second, and the app I use to edit my videos, which is Shotcut on my MacBook, it lags super hard when you play the video before exporting it, like the sort of preview thing that they have on their editor. When you speed it up even faster from 60 frames per second, which is kind of dumb. I don't know. I think this app takes up a ton of like CPU because my laptop overheats every time I like play the preview or like export the video. But anyways, so having the GoPro in training is really nice, but that's why these are not sped up. But anyways, yeah, solid day. Feeling halfway decent for the meet in 2 weeks, so we'll see how it goes, but that's about it.